welcoming back my friend Frankie Corrado once again from his spacious home in the Greater Toronto area. Great to see you again, my friend. It's a fascinating race for those final two wildcard spots in the East, and it's basically come down to three teams. It's Florida, it's the Pittsburgh Penguins, it's Lou Lamoriello's New York Islanders. No matter who makes it, Frankie, do either of those teams actually have a legitimate shot against the top teams in the Eastern Conference when it comes to the postseason?
I don't want to say they have no chance because I think that's a little disrespectful. Anything can happen in the playoffs, and there's a lot of good players. You have the Crosby factor with the Penguins, and you have the Islanders that are a very stingy defensive team. But if one of those teams were to upset Boston or Carolina, it would be because something happened to either Boston or Carolina that they weren't able to get through it. And when you look at the Boston Bruins and the season they've had, they've overcome plenty of adversity right from the start of the season. They started without Brad Marchand and Charlie McAvoy, and they just keep on rolling. They had one point in the year where they lost 3 games in a row. They came back and they stomped on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Then the Carolina Hurricanes. They are so good defensively, and if you take a look at some of the numbers that follow that team, it really is astonishing how good they are defensively and some of the categories that they lead in. Shot attempts, quality chances, slot shots. These are things that the Carolina Hurricanes are first in the NHL in defending. So it's a tall task to go against some of these teams. Look at Boston. There's no weakness in that lineup. Doesn't matter which goaltender is in net, they have a very good goaltender. There's so much depth on the back end. They're so well balanced when it comes to scoring. And then Carolina, for maybe what they lack in offensive punch, they certainly make up for in defensive play and making it hard on you to play against them. So when I look at the teams that are going to be going against those two top teams, there's just not enough there. There's elements that you like about those teams, but to say that one of those teams can challenge Boston or Carolina and beat them is a very tall task. And I'm not at no chance, but I'm very close to saying there's no chance any of those teams can beat the top two teams.
I think that was a very diplomatic way of handling that question from Frankie. We are just 3 weeks away from the start of the playoffs. Postseason puck begins April 17th, and I can't wait. Frankie Corrado, thanks for joining us on the show this morning. Appreciate it.